So welcome to today's lesson on computer software. I'm the presenter, Kalwa Richard. Computer software is a program or set of instructions that enable a computer system to operate. So a set of instructions that enable a computer to operate is what we are calling the computer software, and they are classified into three. We have classification according to purpose, classification according to acquisition, and also classification according to end user license. We shall go one to each of the classifications. So we have classification according to purpose, and when they are classified according to purpose, they are further subdivided into two. So we have the system software and the application software. The system software are programs which enable the user to control the performance of the computer system by directly utilizing the performance of the computer. And the functions of the system software, they enable the booting of the computer and make sure all the hardware elements are working properly. They also perform operations such as retrieving, loading, executing, and storing application programs, and they are also used for storing and retrieving files. System softwares include the operating system, firmware, utility software, and the networking software. So these are the subdivisions of system software: the operating system, the firmware, the utility software, and the networking software. The operating system is a set of complex programs that work together to control execution of user programs, and these user programs are also called the applications or computer applications, and they act as a go between the operating systems acts as a go between, or what we call an interface between the user and the application, that is the applications and the computer hardware. And in this case, the user will be the one controlling the application programs, and then the hardware will execute whatever the user has commanded, and it manages the input, output, and the storage operations of the computer. Examples of operating systems: we have older Microsoft Windows, such as Windows 95, Windows 98. We also have the Windows Millennium, all the Windows 2000, Windows XP, Windows Vista, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, and the other latest Windows. But in this case, each and every window has the Microsoft Windows and their versions, and these versions are what we call the service pack. For example, XP and the service pack 1, 2, and the Dark Edition. You also have Microsoft Office, which has versions such as Starter, Home Basic, Enterprise, Professional, Ultimate, etc. Then you also have the Unix-based operating system and the Linux-based operating systems. Firmware: it is a combination of both an hardware and the software, and in this case it will enable the exchange of data and software over the network. And this BIOS is an example of a firmware which is helpful for the booting process. Then what networking software? First, we have to know what is the network. Network is the interconnection of computers for effective processing and information communication, and in this case, the networking software will facilitate the communication and interconnection of these computers. And we say the software enables one to state data in a network, and as well as providing data security. Some of the current operating systems come up with they have already integrated networking softwares in the operating system. Others come independently. Utility software, it's a special program that performs commonly used services that make execution certain aspects of computing go on smoothly, and such devices include such Operations include copying, file handling, disk management, etc. Examples: you have the antivirus programs, you have disk management softwares, security softwares. Antivirus programs examples: you have the Kaspersky, you have Avera, Norton, McAfee. You also have others like the Avast, etc. So the choice of antivirus program will depend on the personal needs, and also the cost of the antivirus, and also the type of the management system you would want to use. Application softwares. These programs are designed to help the user accomplish the specific tasks, and they are called computer application or application packages. And example, we have software. We can classify them as either word processors, spreadsheets, desktop publishing, computer-aided design, etc. In this case, we have the software, the uses, and the examples. So word processors are used for typing documents such as letters, newsletters, memos, etc. Examples: we have Microsoft-based Word, we have Lotus Word Pro, Word Perfect, etc. Spreadsheets, we have they are used for calculating budgets. Examples: we have Microsoft-based operating Excel, Microsoft Excel. You have Lotus 123. You also have OpenOffice Calc. Desktop publishing, we have they are used for design publications and newspapers, books, etc. These publications include things like the newspapers, books, invitation cards, things like certificates, award certificates, appreciation certificates, etc. And examples are Adobe PageMaker, MS Publisher, Adobe InDesign, etc. Computer-aided design, they are used for technical drawing. You have AutoCAD. Databases, they are used for keeping records and files. Examples are MS Access, MySQL, Oracle, Database 4, etc. Graphic softwares are used for designing and manipulating graphics, such as and in this case we have CorelDRAW, and you have Photoshop. You have others like Adobe Illustrator and many others. We also have other softwares like the example of PowerPoint, which we call them the presentation softwares. We also have the graphic, that is animation softwares like the Maya. We also have the computerized accounting packages. We have an example, the QuickBooks, Sage Pastel. We also have other programs for statistical analysis like the SPSS and also the SAS and many other softwares. Remember, the world of softwares is very enormous, and we may not be able to get through to each and every one of them. Classification of the softwares according to acquisition. We have in-house developed softwares, and these programs are designed to serve a particular purpose for a specific group of people, and in this case they are designed by programmers, and in this case you call a programmer and explain to the programmer your needs as a company, and you address the needs to the programmer, and then a programmer will address your needs through creating a software. These are what we call the in-house developed softwares, and they are not available in shops. In such a case, you have to call the programmer and he will program a software for you. Vendor of the shops, they are also known as the standard softwares, and these softwares are ready-made programs and you can purchase them, and they are developed by software engineers, packaged and then made available for purchase through a vendor or a distributor, and directly from the developer. And qualities of these standard softwares over the in-house developed, they can be run and installed easily. They can be run and installed easily. They are cheaper than in-house. They are readily available for almost every task. They have minor or no errors since they are thoroughly tested, and they can easily be modified to meet your user needs. They have also what we call the drawbacks or the disadvantage. They have some features which are not required by the user, hence they occupy more storage space, since now they have some features that you don't require them, but these features are still stored into your computer, and they require the user to change some processes and hardware for compatibility processes compatibility reasons, and this may turn out to be much expensive. They may lack some features that are required by the user. Let's say, for example, you are using some software. Let's say, for example, you are using MS Excel for accounting, and then you want to create let's say a balance sheet. You may not be able to get some of these required features from some of the standard softwares. Classification according to the end user license, we say they are available under general public license, and in this case we have open source or non-proprietary softwares, and they are softwares whose source code or the program set of instructions are freely made available to the user. An example, a Linux operation system where you can get the software and the programming codes for you to be able to make adjustments where applicable. Then you have the proprietary softwares, and these are softwares whose source code is hidden from the user, and in most cases you cannot be able to do any modification in this case, and these softwares are licensed to the user at a fee, or they are charged. For example, when you go to buy Windows-based operating system, the Microsoft Office, etc., you have to be charged some amount, and then you will not be able to make any changes to that program. Then lastly, we have the freeware, and these softwares are freely made available to the user, and through the internet you can get them by downloading them. However, some of these softwares are malicious software, so you may be able to download a very big virus into your computer just because you want a free software. An example is an AVG antivirus software that is made free to the user, and these are the classifications of computer softwares that we have. Thank you for listening to my lesson.